Gracias.
Ronda.
Hola YouTube and welcome to Ronda. Just arrived here, making my way to my hotel, which is called Asinipo or Asinipo, not sure. And it's located in Orson Welles Passage. Because yeah, that guy spent some time here, as did Ernest Hemingway, Ava Gardner, and a couple of other big names. Seems I already found the main street. And I already found the bullfighting ring. More on that in a little bit. Alright, my hotel really is right in the middle of it. Love it. Okay, my room isn't quite ready yet. It takes another hour, so that's enough time for first the view and then lunch. Let's get to the view first. Okay, lunchtime. There will be plenty more views around here if you hang on. Taco tapas recommended by the hotel receptionist. All right, let's do this.
At the end of the day,
That's a yes. Well, that was some very good tapas. Thank you, reception man, for that recommendation. So what is there to say about this town, Ronda? First of all, it sits above a dramatic gorge that made it both beautiful and strategically very important. Very defensible, if not impregnable. For generations, Ronda has attracted writers, poets, actors, and other travelers who saw something mythic in it. You can find all sorts of layers of Spanish history here, from Al-Andalus to the Civil War in the 20th century. It draws thousands of visitors daily, mostly day trippers, but it still feels like a real and lived-in town. Okay, time to check into the hotel. Oh, this is cute. It's a small but very cute and totally fine room with a double bed, little sitting corner, and a bathroom that feels almost as large as the room, but it's not. There's a TV, everything for coffee and tea. That's it, that's the room tour. Quick and efficient. Now, let me freshen up a bit and we'll be outside again. All right, let us head out. There is one place in Ronda that everybody just has to visit. So where we are now is actually the newer part of the town. The old part is across the bridge, and that bridge is freaking famous. Puente Nuevo, the new bridge. Yeah, there is also the old one. So this is the old town that goes back to even before the Moors had conquered Al-Andalus, while the new part was only built after the reconquest. Okay, I barely walked 10 minutes and I'm in the countryside. This is beautiful. So that's the town sitting on top of those cliffs. So yeah, wanting to attack that comes with a lot of work, I guess, but it's been done. The Spanish region of Andalusia is also known for its so-called white towns, and Ronda is one of the largest and probably the most famous among them. Yeah, I think it's obvious they had a pretty good defensive position from up here on the walls. I'm not going into full exploration mode today. That'll be for tomorrow, but also it'll be in this video. Today is more about arriving, settling in, chilling out a bit, getting a feel for the place. I got 2 nights, so that's enough time. There's another site though I wanna see today, since I already saw the new bridge. We're also gonna check out the old one. All right, old bridge. Hope you can get a good glimpse of how far it goes down. I may want to find out how to get to that wooden path tomorrow. I mean, this place is beautiful.
¿Y por qué no trae el Puente Nuevo y hasta el Puente Viejo? No veo. Se nos ha cortado.
All right, let's grab some dinner. I'm so hungry I could eat a bull. It's really this one street that has all the touristy business. And once you turn around one corner, it's just absolutely beautiful here. You can tell the tourist-oriented restaurants so easily apart from the local, more authentic ones, because the local ones, they open for dinner at 8. And the touristy ones will just be open all day. But I'm afraid I'll have to find one that is a bit more touristy because I can't wait until 8. I'm still trying to adjust to Spanish dinner habits. Found this place, Mi Manuela. Definitely frequented by Spanish people. Okay, as soon as I sat down, the guy walked up to me and said, "Sorry, senor, it's closed until 7 o'clock. That's half an hour I can do that. It's better than 8. I will be dead by 8. So I'll be back there. Let's just take another walk around the block then. Dude, what are you worried about? Right, here we are again. Okay, that didn't go quite as planned. As soon as I wanted to sit down, they started stapling up all the chairs and tables outside and said I could sit inside, which I didn't want. The weather was nice. So I went to a different place. It's a burger and a beer now, which is also completely fine with me. It's at the end of a street that leads to the square near the bridge. The street is full with restaurants that have people outside that are trying to usher you in. And this place didn't do that, so that's how they got me. Well, this doesn't look so bad. And it's 9:30 in the morning, and the town is slowly waking up. First tourist bus just arrived. Hola again, YouTube. After some good breakfast, I am ready for the deep dive. Are you? Let's go. So the first place I want to check out are the Arab baths that go back to before the Reconquest, as the name suggests. It's almost hard to believe we're still in the new town, because these buildings as well go way back. Guess we're gonna have to climb this back up later. The baths will open in 10 minutes, so that gives me the opportunity to have a look at the old bridge from another angle. One absolutely unimpressed cat. That's how we love our cats. So these baths go back to the 700s, which means right after the Moors conquered the area, they built these. Look at these skylights, that's massively cool. So the room where the movie is now shown used to be the steam room. This one next to it used to be the warm room where, for example, massages would take place. And finally, this one was the cold room where you could cool down after your session that could last several hours. And this was the reception area. I'm guessing there used to be a roof on top of this, but now after excavation, it's out in the open air. So this was built between the 1200s and 1400s when Christian forces had already reconquered most of the Iberian Peninsula, causing the Muslim population to move towards the remaining Muslim territory, which was roughly an area between Ronda and Granada. That's why these places became such hotspots of Muslim culture back then. So how they supplied this bath with water is they had an aqueduct built and also a tower, and they had a mechanical system powered by a donkey that brought the water from the river up to the tower and then along the aqueduct to the bath. And the heat was generated by burning wood in the boiler room and then directing the hot air that it produced underneath the floor of the room. So the room next to the boiler room was the hottest one, the steam room, because it was so hot in there you could throw water on the floor and it would evaporate, which they constantly did. So the next room was already a bit cooler but still very warm. It was called the warm room, which is where massages took place and other treatments. And finally the cold room for cooling down. And basically that is how these baths work to this day. It hasn't changed much. Top view of the skylights. So yeah, that's what this area was, like the final frontier, the last stronghold of Muslim Al-Andalus towards the end of the reconquest, under constant attack from Christian forces. And this was really the borderline. Just outside the city wall. All right, that's another place I want to visit. Okay, Palacio de Mondragon, which is like the main museum for Ronda's history in a house from the 1300s. Okay, if you ever visit, get a municipal museum ticket for 12 euros. That gives you access to a whole bunch of different museums in the town, including this one and the Arab baths. So I should have known that earlier, but well, here we go. Yeah, again, try getting up there. It's hard to tell individually, but some of these go back to Al-Andalus, to Moorish times. Obviously incomplete statue of a shepherd made in white marble, 2nd century. I can't show you everything, of course, but this museum really covers the whole history of Ronda back to antiquity. Really, that place gives you the whole history of Ronda going back to prehistoric times. If you don't want to do museum hopping, you can always just hang out at one of the many little squares and enjoy someone's guitar playing. "12:30, the crowds are back." Okay, this must be the most popular viewing platform in all of the town. And yeah, I can see why. Okay, let us check this bridge out some more. This is the Centro de Interpretación del Puente Nuevo. So I guess this is about more than views, but also about some insights. Let's see what's here. Admission to this is €2.50, or if you have the municipal museum ticket for €12, this is included. And really it's worth it. You get to enjoy the bridge without the selfies crowd. Okay, that room gives you some more insights into this bridge. It was only finished in 1789 though, so it is actually quite new compared to many other structures around here. Time for some lunch, and then I want to see the other side of Ronda. You know, the one where people live. One famous person who used to spend a lot of time here was Austrian poet Rainer Maria Rilke. So they named a driving school after him here. I know I'm repeating myself, but Ronda is really well designed. So this is Carrera Espinal, the main tourist road. And just let me take you down this way a little bit. You reach the square, you see more families. You hear more Spanish. You see a lot more local life already. So let's walk further down into residential Ronda, see what's there. So it's not all purely residential. You do see the occasional small hotel, but generally this whole area already feels really lived in and really nice. Look at these cute houses. And then you get to this. The door is wide open, but I still don't dare going in because it still does look kind of private here. There's no sign or anything pointing me anywhere. And these are residences too. No entry, but we can still peek inside. Balcony laundry. Yep, people live here. Let's cross into the old town again. Exploring Ronda on foot does involve a lot of hills. All right, it's time for a break. I will head back to the room for a bit, and I will see you when it's time for the dinner round. Okay, the break is over and I'm back at this square. I was here before, but there's one thing I didn't know about it then, that a certain walk apparently starts here, which I will try out right now. I will put the name of that square down below because I really can't pronounce it. Okay, Plaza de Maria Auxiliadora. Not that hard, really. I think that after climbing this back up later, I will have really earned my dinner. €5 get you past that building behind me. You get a hard hat and you can do this walk. It's not even a very long walk, but it does give you some very cool views of the bridge and the gorge and the waterfall and all that. Yeah, that was worth it. And that's the end of the path. The nice view onto the Andalusian landscape. Right, now let's climb back up. If you can see that in the distance, that's the viewpoint I went to first yesterday, right after arriving here. If you don't want to do the walk down and the climb back up, you can just go to this viewpoint, which is right behind the little house where you pay, but you still got to pay. All right, I'm back up. So let's see what's for dinner. It's way too early for most restaurants again. Most will be closed, but I saw some places in Carrera Espinel, also known as Calle Turístico, that are open all day. And they didn't look so bad, so I will check them out. Oh, by the way, this place, the bullfighting ring, I didn't say very much about that, did I? I guess I'm just not into bullfighting, but there are actually a few interesting facts about this. This is actually, Ronda is where modern bullfighting was invented. The roots were written in the late 1700s. I know that Ernest Hemingway was a huge bullfighting fan, and I think so was Orson Welles, and both spent quite some time here in Ronda. All right, let's eat. All right, I ordered braised pork because Spain isn't just about seafood, right? Okay, that was the day. Last thoughts on Ronda in the morning before I leave to my next destination. It's the next morning. I'm about to leave Ronda, and I gotta say, it's been really nice. Now it seems that most people come here for the views. The bridge, the gorge, the postcard views, the selfies. But Ronda gets really interesting when you look beyond that. This was once a frontier town and one of the most dramatic chapters of Spanish history, and you can still find traces of that everywhere. In the Arab baths, in the old streets, in the buildings that have been standing here for centuries. And once you know how important Ronda was in Al-Andalus, you stop seeing it just as a beautiful place and you start seeing it as a place that mattered a lot. Anyway, hope you enjoyed exploring Ronda with me. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, you know the whole yada yada, it does help. And have a wonderful time, and hopefully see you again in my next video from a place I've been to before on this trip, but now I'm gonna give it the proper treatment. Take care.